Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Happy Friday today for all that celebrate. Shout out to Aaliyah and Diane already in the chat. Aaliyah says, I'm praying for a great episode today. Amen to that, because I don't know if I can deal with another boring episode or another episode with Ashley front and center. I don't think Ashley's on today, but you never know. You never know. I honestly don't even remember the spoilers I read earlier in the week. I just know that Haley and Leslie's scenes are on today. Hello, exotic butterfly. Welcome back. I meant to ask you yesterday, exotic butterfly, if you have butterfly earrings like Chelsea does. Those huge earrings. Looks like the show started for others. I will say that my Paramount Plus stream is usually a minute behind CBS. And I'll be typing. Now mine is starting. With Vernon and Anita. In the preview, we saw that Vernon's going to want to get frisky. But Kat lives there now. Hello, Wanda Dickon, who said it should be a good episode because today is Friday, either a good episode or a filler Friday. Aaliyah says Anita's getting back on the horse. Welcome back, Lightning Storm. Damn, Diane, I didn't look into the fire. It must have been bad. That's too bad, exotic butterfly, that you don't have those earrings. These two might be the most flirty couple on the show. Honestly, more chemistry than any of Nicole and her men. Yay, trash is on today. With as much airtime as Jacob and Naomi get, you would think that they're the most exciting couple in daytime. Welcome back, DGF. That's sad, Diane, about the explosions. Aaliyah says trash on the scene. Hello, Z Hicks. Aaliyah says Anita and Vernon give me the impression that it was daytime, but Naomi seemed like it was night. That's true. What do y'all think the odds are this episode ends with Vanessa and Joey all up on each other, kissing, having the same conversation? And I wonder, like I did on Sunday during my preview, if these two will have the same conversation where Haley just turns teaming up with Leslie down. Hello, Lillian Four. Yeah, that is sad. That's the same thing that Diane's talking about, I'm assuming. Well, I don't want to jinx it, but at least there's no Ashley yet. Devin says the only right way for an episode to end is Joey and Vanessa sucking face. Come on now. I guess so. Welcome to the chat, Devin. Z Hicks says Leslie dresses nicely. She usually does. Aaliyah says, I'm tired of them making Joey and Vanessa front and center, especially since the storyline is so repetitive and bad. Hello, Phoenix Rising. Welcome back. Happy Friday to you too. Aaliyah says, no Ashley on Fridays. Kathy says, I will put down $5. You are right. Is this regarding Vanessa and Joey? Because usually when they're on in the same episode, even separately, they always find their way back to each other by the last quarter of the episode to have the same damn conversation. These damn drug commercials get more airtime than the younger characters like Tyrell, Jessica, I guess even Samantha. We are back with Haley and Leslie. Leslie hates to be called crazy, Aaliyah. Devin says, "Congrats, Samantha. You won the cotillion. See you in a month." That's how they act with the younger characters. These two are ridiculous. Yeah, I don't know who those characters are. Lightning Storm. Exotic Butterfly says, "I've seen Jacob and Isaiah's mom, Darlene, on those drug commercials. She's also in a car commercial. She gets a lot of commercial work, not a whole lot of BTG work." Lightning Storm says, "They are characters from an older Tyler Perry show called The Haves and the Have-Nots." I have heard of the show, but I don't watch a lot of Tyler Perry. These two acting like they didn't, use the very important text messages to hook up every other day. I could do bad acting, well, for the most part, if the storyline's good. Exotic Butterfly says, I would like Divorced Sisters. I've seen that pop up on Paramount, actually. I think it was the other day. If I had time, I probably was going to check it out, but I didn't have time because, I like to review too much shit on this channel. Kathy says, if Joey is supposed to be Bill's attorney helper, why hadn't he told him about Haley? Well, I guess one thing we've learned about Joey is he likes to have all this information, but do zero with that information because the writers don't know what to do with that information. Wanda Dixon says, one would think by now the writers would zero in on Bill and Haley's situation. One would think. It seems like the story to move along. Aaliyah says, we just need these stories to move. Enough talk. I couldn't agree more. Lightning Storm says, I know, right? Haley been trying to kill Bill for almost a year now. It seems that way. I mean, she's definitely been scamming Bill for over a year now. Chelsea's randomly on now. She still has on those big ass earrings. C. Hicks says Joey's always waiting for the right opportunity to use situations for himself. Well, with these writers, he's going to be waiting years. Exotic Butterfly says, I wish Doug's ghost would pay Trash a visit and scare the bejesus out of her. I could be with that too. Bobby Wobby says, I'm tired of confronting Joey at his casino only to make themselves look bad. I agree. Lightning Storm says, Vernon and Anita need a dramatic story. They've been boring for too long. I don't know if they'll get another big story yet since they just had the cancer storyline. I mean, I really do think Michelle Belgian thinks it's 1976 with all these slow paced stories and all the talking with no action. I don't know why Naomi's acting like this when Jacob was worse than she was. Nothing in this Impaler storyline makes sense. Everyone's acting like Ashley was just so still good to Derek after his death, like she's the widow when she was his hater. Naomi and everyone acting like Jacob did this great job when he didn't. And these two acting like they're having a reunion when they fucked every other day when Jacob was supposed to be undercover. Devin says it's funny too that last episode Bill said something about not wanting to rewrite history. This show tries to do that, except for with Bill, I guess. Aaliyah says if Elon knew Jacob would be fired. I mean, even Elon's acting like Jacob did such a good job. But I guess if he did know about all the texting and the meetups, maybe he would feel different. It's a big drug day. Friday must be drug day on the commercials because I feel like I've had multiple and it's only been 20 minutes. Aaliyah says, I wonder if Elon hooked up with Darlene while he was undercover. Maybe. Maybe he is like his son and he's just a hard ass now. Aaliyah says, hella drugs with too many side effects. Yeah. Maybe that's the story they'll do with Deanna. She's on one of these many drugs that they advertise during the show, and that's why she's seeing dead people. Devin says, last Friday of the month, making sure the old people remember to restock their prescriptions. Well, this is the show to choose that because less people under 50 are watching this show this year. Miss Blue says, speaking of Darlene, we haven't seen her in a while. Yeah, she's not a character we see often. Aaliyah says, what do you think about the UFC fight at the White House? I think it's fucking stupid. The UFC sucks anyways. It's been boring for years. No, Devin, we're definitely not the devil. I actually don't mind a lightning storm. At least one couple on this show has chemistry, even if it's the older folks. Aaliyah says we've barely seen Darlene with her husband. That's true. I mean, I would like to see more of Elon too, period. Oh Lord. Martin walking in at an even worse time. Cassie says, I feel like I should cover my eyes. I mean, at least the cat and Martin stuff was amusing. Miss Blue says, I know that I said this already, but Naomi really needs to tell her family that she has a BRCA gene. Yeah. At this point, why is she still hiding it? Because Anita's doing better. Jacob's back. Do you think Jacob misses that alley like we do? Well, I called this. Here's Vanessa and Joey coming together to have the same damn conversation they always do. Maybe they won't kiss for once because Joey sounds like he has a cold. Devin says, dude, this episode's got my grandpa. He doesn't need one of the drugs in the commercials, I guess. Bobby Wobby says, from the way Jacob talking, Naomi don't need to worry about him asking for a baby anytime soon. True. Wanda says, Naomi and Jacob need to get a life. They are a young couple, but so boring. I agree. I mean, at the end of the day, this Haley and Leslie interaction was for nothing again. Leah said, I hope Bill seeing his wife sitting with Leslie says something to him. It won't. Bill has no clues. Exotic Butterfly says, Bill is Delulu when it comes to Haley. He definitely is. Lightning Storm says, I hope so too, but Bill is a moron. And Haley will just say the same BS to him and he'll buy it. That's how it's gone for a long time with Bill and Haley. Bobby says Naomi and Jacob should have the most exciting storylines since one is a cop and the other's a lawyer, but it is too much happening off screen. Yeah, it's an off screen thing, but also like they don't have good story ideas for them too. Aaliyah says there's so much story to get into by Haley getting caught. There is, but they're clearly not ready to get into it because they don't have any other good story built up. That's the problem. Nothing in the Outback Steakhouse commercial looks good except the cheesecake. Hello, Company Confidential. Happy Friday to you too. Exotic Butterfly says, we didn't even get to see Leah getting carted off to jail. That's true. I thought we were going to see that, but we didn't. Aaliyah says, maybe we should start a fantasy writing of BTG for ourselves. We should. Maybe I'll make it a video. Welcome back, Denise. Bobby says, I thought about doing fantasy writing of BTG also. Y'all should. I don't know where, but you should. There used to be sites for that, for soap opera stuff like that. Aaliyah says, why the hell don't Vernon and Anita have a bedroom? Because Nicole needs one for all of her men. Lightning Storm says, well, Vernon, if you lock the door and stop letting everyone just walk in, true. Or have Rowena or whatever her name is at the door as a bodyguard, letting nobody through. Exotic Butterfly says, did Vernon and Anita just finish? Hopefully not right there on the couch where the whole family sits. I mean, it did seem that way, Exotic Butterfly. Bobby Bobby says, "I would have had Marcel and Leslie try to take over Joey's business. They should be working together to do something against Joey." I agree, Bobby. If Joey has a cold, let's give him some time off, so I don't have to sit through Joey and Vanessa's scenes. Exotic Butterfly says, "Vernon and Anita traumatized the grandkids. Cat and Martin need more drinks." It has been the only amusing thing in this episode. Miss Blue says, "It's time for Cat to move out and get her own place. She just moved in, though." Aaliyah says, "For these next 2 seasons, they're going to have to get the sets up, hopefully." Exotic Butterfly says, "Trash and Grandpa Gangster coordinated their outfits." Devin says, "Yes, another fantasy writing sesh." It would be fun just to do a video just on that with all of y'all, but I don't know when. Miss Blue says, "If my grandparents are going to be making out in the living room, then I'm moving out." I mean, Kat has the money, so she could. Devin says, "It's been a year. She could move in with her boyfriend, too." That is an option. I mean, I wouldn't want to move in with Tomas with his serial killer like tone, lack of emotions, but they make it seem like Kat's happy now, so she might as well. Devin says, I'm gonna start pulling the wagon for Tomas. I think we give this dude way too much hate. Well, it ain't gonna work on me, Devin. He would be in a fantasy writing session. That's who I'm killing first, is Tomas. Lightning Storm says that would actually be a good story. Tomas is secretly a serial killer. It's the one thing he might be able to play just because the lack of emotions. Exotic Butterfly says she's about to go make some paper airplanes. Well, enjoy the rest of your day. Paper airplanes will probably be more fun than this episode. So enjoy your weekend. They like to talk about Tyrell and Jessica and Samantha, but not show them enough to gain any momentum with the younger characters. Miss Blue says, I like Tomas. Please do not throw the tomatoes at me. Let's see if I can find a tomato emoji. Sorry, Miss Blue, but it has to be done. Lightning Storm says, I think the Tomas character is okay. It's the actor that it's less than stellar. Nice to look at, though. Uh, I think the character had more potential, and then maybe the love triangle with Kat and Eva would have been better with the better actor. Because that storyline hurt all three characters because he can't act. We gotta pretend like fucking Vanessa actually gives a damn. Z Hicks says they're wasting a conversation about almost catching grandparents sexing. I know, we could be seeing the younger people instead. Oh, they put something back in Jacob's eyes because they definitely started this scene with his eyes already teary. He's no Eva. I know he can't cry on cue. Aaliyah says, so now Jacob is crying. Franco also throwing tomatoes at Miss Blue. Good call. Bobby Wobby says, since they're filming in Atlanta, they should rent some sets from Tyler Perry. Doesn't their studio have some connection with Tyler Perry? I thought I read that when the show first started. I mean, I'm glad Jacob's finally showing some emotions to this damn story. Aaliyah says Tyler Perry has whole neighborhoods. Well, then he should help. Bobby Wobby says, well, turn in your badge, Jacob, if you feel that way. He won't, though. Devin says the actor who plays Bill played a guy named Devin in a movie called The Fix. I'm a big fan of him now. He's always been, in my opinion, the best male actor on the show. DGF says it would have been so appropriate if all of the emotion Jacob is releasing about Derek's death had been aimed at Ashley, and he'd call her out for being mean. Yeah, I think that would have been better writing, DGF, because Ashley deserved someone to say something about how she's acting about Derek when she was a big old hater. Hello, Dee Dee. Welcome. How are you enjoying today's Friday? Today's filler Friday. Miss Blue says Timon is a great actor in Hubba Hubba too. He is a great actor. Far, far better than Tomas. Aaliyah says, too many filler days. We need action, damn it. I mean, that's what I feel like I've been saying for too many months now. Alan Davis asks, why is a character as Leslie so not worried or thinking about anything or anyone, though she worries about her self image anyway? There's like no rhyme or reason to the Leslie character. Doc Backhand says, grand sexy time gave Martin and Kat PTSD. The funniest and most realistic scene so far. Filler, yes, but kind of fun. It's bad enough with your parents, but grandparents, yikes. I mean, that was the most entertaining part of today's episode, but it is filler, yes. I wonder how many eye drops they gave him. Had to be a ton. Exotic Butterfly says, "Is it me or did we get extra commercials today?" Maybe. There was definitely a lot of drug commercials today, more than even usual. Leah says onion drops. Lightning Storm, I didn't notice any tighter Febreze. No, Franco, it is Jacob crying, finally. Well, crying. He has eye drops for sure. Well, at least Jacob said it was the Ashley mess, but he won't confront Ashley about it, will he? This has to be the show really, really trying to push. Look at Vanessa. She really does miss Doug. She really does. Her actions have never showed it, but she really does miss Doug. Please. Franco, I don't think Jacob is the best actor. Aaliyah says, "Are we supposed to be excited about Vanessa's non-existent house?" I think we're supposed to feel for Vanessa somehow. DGF, are you saying Jacob should check? I don't know what you're saying. Aaliyah says the Impaler wants to meet with Joey. Bobby Wobby rolling his eyes. Devin says, "Do all the old white women love Vanessa?" I don't know. I think some of them love Ashley, but I don't know about Vanessa. DGF says, "This time has passed for these Doug was so great soliloquies." I agree. I guess Randy knows the Impaler, Exotic Butterfly. Maybe it's Lynette. I mean, I just want to see Lynette, but I'd be okay with Lynette being the impaler. Diane says, I don't like Vanessa at all, and I'm an old white woman. Do you like Ashley, Diane? Not Vernon got them a hotel. How they write in Vernon and Anita like they're the teenagers who would get a hotel room to sleep together. Franco says Lynette will be back one day. Let's hope so. Maybe I'd get a little more pep in my step watching this show. Dee Dee says Vanessa's in her late 30s. I know, but she seems like she's in her 50s to me since she's with Grandpa Gangster. Yes, this is their one hotel room. Let's see this preview. Well, there's Isaiah and Jacob's mom. I mean, not the most exciting preview. They're still going to stretch out the Impaler stuff, probably. Aaliyah says, now this is stupid. Vernon took Anita to a hotel instead of upstairs in their big ass house. I know, that should have been a scene for Nathan and Chessie. Leah says, I think Leslie and Darlene might fight. That might be some action next week. GB says next week looks dumb. Does kind of look like more of the same. Exotic Butterfly says, if Vernon is still ready, he must have taken one of those blue pills. I know. That's the commercial that was missing today from the episode. Lightning Storm says, y'all got this big old house. I'm got to get a hotel to get it on. That's crazy. Yeah. Devin says, late 30s. I call BS. I think late 50s, maybe. I think she is actually young, but putting her with Grandpa Gangster does not help her. Doc Backhand loves the grands at the hotel. No more interruptions. I mean, it does make sense for today's storyline again. ATC says it's a comedy. They try more comedy than they do drama, that's for sure. Dee Dee says, I love the BTGs showing the love between an older relationship. Facts. I like that too. Z Higgs says, they don't lock doors at home, huh? I know, that's all they actually had to do. DGF says, I got to get my ducks in a row before July 9th. A big brother. Me too. Thank you for watching along, Bobby. Thank you, Miss Blue. Dee Dee says, it be nice people about Vernon and Anita. Stop hating people. I mean, I don't think people are hating on Vernon and Anita. I think they're hating about the hotel room. Exotic Butterfly says, I'm a Big Brother fan as well. Well, I'll see you this summer. Lightning Storm says, I enjoyed the watch alongs this week. I go back to work next week, so no idea when I'll be able to join. Well, I've enjoyed having you in the chat, Lightning Storm. Hopefully, you could get back one day. I don't know if I'm going to continue to do it every single day, especially when Love Island starts, but I'll still try and do it most days. All right, I must go. I'll be back for my review later, a preview on Sunday, and back here on Monday or Tuesday when I can do another watch along. I think I'll be here Monday because Love Island doesn't start till Tuesday. It's still here on this channel, Didi. I do everything on this one channel. Even been trying to make pro wrestling happen, but only Devin cares about pro wrestling. But I am thankful that Devin cares. Leah says, I'm not hating. They deserve a very large bedroom with a lock on the door. I agree. All right. I must go. Thank you all. Like always, I wish I could say it was a good week of the show. It wasn't, but it's been a good week in the chat.